Hello everyone, it's Grammy. I'm out here sitting at my picnic table. I'm gonna be working over here at my shed out here, trying to get some of my Christmas things in the house. Look at these ladybugs all over that. That's the storage container for my Christmas tree. Oh, and here's my cardboard boxes and egg crates and things like that I burn in the fire pit, and old newspapers. Here's the leaf blower and extension cords and what little bit of bird seed I've got in here. It's kind of dark in here, but most of my Christmas stuff is back in that area to the back, so I have to get it out somehow through here. Anyway, not gonna be easy. I'll just do a little bit at a time, because after all, we've not even had Thanksgiving yet. That's this coming week. There's my signs that I made. Some time ago. I just stuck them on the back of that door. I hope everybody out there in YouTube land is doing okay. You know, I don't think I can say it enough. And anyway, that's the way I feel right now today. Is to thank Joe Biden for all he's done and all he still is doing to run this country as a democracy. So like I say, right now today, I can't thank him enough. And Jill Biden also. He's been a good example for all of us through these trying times. People don't understand. People don't understand. Like I've said on my videos before, I totally believe in separation of church and state, and that people have a right to live their lives as they choose. And I think I said on one of my videos that someone said, where do I draw the line? Well, I draw the line with criminals. And the person that's going to be going into the White House is a criminal. So this is hard. And he doesn't believe in democracy. He believes in dictating to the people. And all these choices that he's making right now, who knows what kind of evil plot he has going on. But he sure has picked some strange people. I don't know if he's picked them just like Matt Gates, knowing that they wouldn't last long anyway. Or he just picked them because he knew they'd make a big mess. And, you know, when people started hollering about it, he could just blame them, put somebody else in there. Until he finds the ones that just do everything he wants them to do. And it baffles me every day. It baffles me every day of my life that the Christians that I grew up with in my early years and have been back in this area for a lot of years now, and they still want to tell people what they need to do. I've said before, you know, in the name of Donald Trump. No. They think they're fighting a righteous war. A righteous war. Go back and read the red letters. Read what Jesus said. That's what I say. And I believe in freedom of religion. To worship as you please. Everyone doesn't worship as you do. Everyone does not have the same kind of beliefs as you do. But in this country, separation of church and state, in this country, everyone is free to live their lives and worship and believe as they choose in this country. But when we start dictating to other people, let's take for an example the trans community. Now, I know very little about the trans people that are trans, but I have watched a few things on TV, documentaries or specials talking about the struggles that trans people go through. And I do believe that if they say they are a woman trapped in a man's body and they're struggling with that, then it's their choice if they want to go through sex change operations. But like I say, I've watched things on TV, and I think I've read a few things about how, you know, they don't just, like Trump has said, go to school one day and come home that evening a different sex. Sex operations take, best I know, someone tell me if I'm wrong, but they take 2 years or more before the operation is actually performed, because they have to go through mental evaluations and physical evaluations. And if they're adults, that is their right in this country to make decisions for their own life. And I don't understand why people that claim to be Christians and righteous, that they need to tell those people what they need to do. They don't need to be having sex changes. We know, or we should know, I know, that this has been tried through the years with these religious camps like with people that are gay. They send these young people off to these religious camps and try to program them to believe they're not gay. And it causes a lot of damage to these people that go through those religious programs where they try to pound it into them that, the Bible says. The Bible says. Even in the Christian community, people can't agree on the words in the Bible. But yet they want to push their beliefs on other people. Again, separation of church and state. This is a free country, and I draw the line with criminals. Like I say, I don't know any trans people. I have known a few gay people. I have nothing against them. I believe that everyone on this earth is a creation of life. Now, I make my choices for my life. And like I've said, some good, some bad. But a lot of the good choices I've made have been hard because other people don't think the choices I've made were right. And I go with what Tim Wiles was saying on the campaign trail. Mind your own damn business. If everything's perfect and running smooth in your life, and you've got all the answers, and you're living a happy, wonderful life, then enjoy your life. Why do you feel that it's necessary to try to change someone else? So anyway, I bring that up because it's like a distraction from what's really going on. Let's throw this one out, and this one out, and this one out. All these different distractions. Like people sometimes talk about testing spaghetti to see if it's done and throwing it on the wall to see if it sticks. That's what Trump's done for years. He's thrown every single thing he could throw out there. And he'd get little groups of people here and little groups of people there and get them all excited about these little things that he throwed out there. Now, when I lose my Social Security and other people my age lose their Social Security checks that we worked and put into all these years, that's going to hurt us. When I'm not able to get Medicare and medical benefits to help me with my prescriptions or doctor visits, that's going to hurt me and a lot of other people. And these tariffs, nothing happens overnight on day one, as Donald Trump says. On day one. I, myself, and a lot of other people are dreading day one. Jesus was all about love. Loving your neighbor. Your neighbor might be that trans person. Your neighbor might be that gay person. Your neighbor might be a black person. Your neighbor might be a Mexican. Your neighbor might be someone that came across the border that is a family and trying to get American citizenship by going through the proper channels and doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're not all criminals. They just had that trial of that girl that was killed by those illegal people that came across the border. Justly so, they will serve their time in prison. Life. Justly so. But I know for a fact that there are women all over the United States that are murdered every day, and they're not murdered by illegal immigrants. They are murdered by white men and black men and Mexican men and whoever. Women that are murdered by men. The statistics on that would be a lot higher than what's coming across the border. These are citizens that have been here for a long time that are murdering women, their wives, their girlfriends, or hookers. Oh my gosh, I guess that's all right. I don't think so. Down here on our local TV, there's been a lot of talk about the Susan Smith parole hearing that was just heard. For those of you that don't remember, I remember that time very well. I remember watching it all because that just happened down here in South Carolina when Susan Smith murdered her two little baby boys, and pushed them into the lake, and they drowned. And she lied about it. And at first we all believed her and felt for her. And her husband, David Smith, who was estranged from her at the time, stood beside her. He was grieving too because they thought the little children had been kidnapped by a black man. And everybody was looking for them. But then the sheriff of Union, South Carolina, he began to figure out something fishy was going on. Anyway, as the story goes, she finally confessed to what she had done. That she had murdered those babies by drowning them, buckled in their car seats in that car as she pushed it into the lake. Now, I've watched David Smith many times on TV, on different programs, talking about his heartache and his pain. And my heart goes out to him. He was deceived by Susan Smith, and we were all deceived by Susan Smith. And they denied her parole, and I'm glad they denied her parole. And David Smith says he'll be, I think in 3 more years, she'll be up again, and he'll be right there again to put in his voice for his 2 little baby boys. And that's good. But another thing we have to remember, that the sheriff in South Carolina finally got Susan Smith to break and tell the truth. Who's going to make Donald Trump tell the truth and stop all his lying that he's done to everyone and deceived them? deceived them like Susan Smith did. I also watched some clips where him and Elon and Donald Jr. and all his MAGA cronies, Mar-a-Lago buddies, and all that went to that big fight the other night. Nothing wrong with that. But it kind of struck me in a bad way, being that I had heard him say at his rallies that he wants to start immigrant fight leagues. Immigrant fight leagues. Where people, men, can go and they can fight against immigrants. I don't think that's a very good idea at all. But the MAGA crowd, they like that idea. Anyway, got a lot on my mind, as usual. And, but I'm going to go ahead and get some of my Christmas stuff out of my shed. And remember that Christmas is Jesus' birthday. Now, if you don't believe in Jesus, that's fine. You have a right to believe however you want to. And I'll stand with you for your right to believe how you want to, as long as you don't murder, steal, cheat, lie to the country. Because this country is all about freedom. And we have laws. Donald Trump thinks every law, every court is a farce unless they protect him. Anyway, I love all you, my YouTube friends, very much. You're the friends I have. You're the friends I have, and I love y'all. We're going to get through this. We are going to get through this. We love each other. We love other people. We love this country. And we're going to get through this. So, again, have a happy Turkey Day. And let's have a Merry, Merry Christmas. And then we'll celebrate that hopeful New Year. Because I'm just pushing forward every day to keep living my life like I've always tried to live my life. Love to all. Grammy and Tony.